I'm Shar. You're tuning in at home. Smooth class is now in session.
All right, y'all. So listen, I am Smooth. This is Homer with Smooth. Like, comment, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Yeah. So listen, I'm gonna explain to you why canceling Andrew Tate, all right, and canceling Trump. Why? Excuse me. It doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work because it doesn't address the central issue. It doesn't address the central cause of why these two individuals exist. Okay, clearly. Okay, I'm gonna start with Andrew Tate first, and then we'll work our way to Trump. All right, with Andrew Tate, right? For the longest, women have been asking men, what is y'all's problems? Talk. Tell us what your problems are, right? Now, if you ask someone to open up to you and tell you what their problems are and the problems that they see and the things that upset them, right? And you immediately get mad and get defensive and go, "Oh, I don't like what you're saying." Then why did you ask me to say what I said? Obviously, the reason I wasn't going to say what I had to say was because I knew you would be upset. Therefore, I'd rather just not even say it. But here's what people like about Andrew Tate. People like that he's saying things that they agree with. It's not even that they agree with everything that he's saying, that he's saying things that they agree with. Okay. There's a bit of truth. There's a morsel of truth to the things that he's saying. Therefore, they want to be I mean, they want to listen to him. They want to listen to him. They want to uh be a part of his movement. They want to follow him because why? When you look at the alternatives, the other side, that stuff don't work for men. It doesn't work for men. People say, "Oh, there's better examples out there." Why aren't people finding the better examples? And are the better examples people that are furthering your narrative? Because if that is your better example, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it because they don't agree with that already. So there has to be someone in place that represents their ideas. Okay, maybe not as extreme as an Andrew Tate, but there needs to be someone, and there's no one. So therefore, deplatforming him doesn't matter. You can take him off Facebook and Instagram; it don't matter. Most of the stuff that's posted of him anyway is reposts. It's reposts of stuff he said on other platforms. It's not even like he's on Facebook or on Instagram saying these things. He's not. He wasn't even on there. People were reposting stuff from other interviews. He had a Twitch account. I think his Twitch account got banned. But obviously he's still on Twitch. It doesn't help the conversation. It doesn't help the narrative. It doesn't at all. So that's why cancel him won't work. They're just going to find a new way to follow him. People are like, oh, we're going to pressure TikTok or blah. Okay, let's say you pressure TikTok. Boom, you get him off TikTok. Okay, now he has no platforms. Guess what? Now he's able to like start his own website or however he ends up getting his message out to his people. Like he gonna get the message out there. Like he's already has money. That's the crazy part. He already has money. So what do you expect? What do you want from him? He already has money. There's nothing you can do to him. All right. Now let's roll over to Trump because this is a twofold thing. Everything I just said about Andrew Tate applied to Trump. However, it gets a bit deeper, right? Because as you've seen, they took him off Twitter. They got Trump off Twitter. But Trump and MAGA supporters are still there. Why? Because they physically can go see this man. They physically can go interact with this man. He was the former president, for crying out loud. You're not gonna get rid of him. You're not gonna get rid of him. So the only thing you can do for him and his supporters is the exhausting thing of talking to them, having conversations, and pulling them back center. Okay, you're not going to get them to the left. It's not going to happen. Only thing you can do is move center, and the only way you can move them center is you're going to have to move center too. And I know that's so hard for people. That's so hard because everyone wants to be encamped in their own little side, thinking that everything their side does is work. Some things that are liberal ideas are just impractical. They're just impractical. They sound good on paper. They sound good on paper. In actual application, it just won't work. It just won't. It won't work. Won't work. It won't. Um, I'm not going to give examples of those because I'm not here to argue that. Um, but we know we have a general idea. You have a general idea of things that are proposed that won't work. Even their side that like they're trickle down and oh, we're gonna give big companies tax breaks and it's gonna give people money. No, it didn't work during COVID. Proved it. Proved it. Gave them tax breaks during COVID, and it did not work. It didn't work. But you know what does work? Giving poor people money, they're gonna spend it. What happened? All those stimulus checks got spent. It worked for the economy. People were buying things. It was a temporary boost. It worked. It worked. People were buying goods. Now, did people buy all the right goods? No. People went out there and bought toilet paper, but it anyway. Anyway, I don't want to get derailed. Um, with Trump, right? There's no you can't cancel. He started his own social media platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's other platforms as well. And these fringe elements, they go over these people. Well, I shouldn't call them fringe because they're regular people just like you and I. For the most part, they end up in these isolation chambers on these far side, right? Because you're like, oh, we got to get you up out of here, right? No, you want to keep them there because that's an opportunity for them to move back to the center. Like for instance, like let's say I don't have a better example, so I'm gonna give this example, right? Let's say you're Christian, right? Let's say you're Christian or you're religious or whatever. But yeah, we'll just go with Christian for the sake of example. And you want to get people baptized. You want to get people saved in the name of Jesus Christ. All right, cool. But this one guy, he's just always drunk, always like counter God. He's always but he's attending services. He goes to every Sunday. He's there every Sunday faithfully. He's there every Wednesday faithfully. But he's in opposition to you. And he does and he gives outbursts whatever all the time and you're sick and tired of him. But guess what? If you kick him out the church, he ain't gonna come back. He ain't gonna come back and he'll never get saved. He will never like the switch will never turn and he'll never like buy into Jesus Christ. Okay. But if you let him keep going and each day, you know what you try and do? You try and talk to him a little bit. That's it. That's it. That's it. You don't have to try and like have these big gotcha moments all the time. All you got to do is just talk to people. Talk to people. And eventually, them layers gonna start peeling back. Peeling back. I'm not saying you gotta go like meet him at his house or none of that. I'm just saying you got to start peeling these layers back and we got to start having some really rough and uncomfortable conversations to start to get people back to being cool with each other. Because this whole I'm on this team, F you, and you're on that team, F you, and it's not working for us. Okay. I mean, even when you go back to the Andrew Tate thing, it's a men versus women thing, right? Like this is not healthy. This discourse on both sides is not healthy. It's not healthy because the women's side is like, oh, all the men, y'all are trash, right? Y'all are trash. And there's a lot of men that's going, no, I'm not trash. I did everything in my power to make that thing work. It just, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the woman was trash, you know what I'm saying? In that situation, maybe it just didn't work. Like, you can't listen to anybody and take anybody's advice on anything when it comes to the interpersonal relationship between two people. People can give you good guidelines, but that's it. They're just guidelines. It's advice. Excuse me. But it's not going to change the narrative. It's not going to change what's going on. And what you have to do is you have to you have to actually sit down and have uncomfortable conversations with your partner, uncomfortable conversations with your family, uncomfortable conversations with your friends. Like everything is going to be an uncomfortable conversation, and you just have to decide, are you willing to have it? And that's kind of where I want to end today's show, because all of this boils down to, are you willing to have the uncomfortable conversations necessary to make things better? Okay, are you prepared to be offended? Okay, do you want to hear people out? Because when you look at Trump, okay, he spoke to a group of people that just felt outright neglected. Now is some of their beliefs and stuff misplaced? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely misplaced. Absolutely, like, wrong. Absolutely it's wrong, right? But there's a base. There's a small morsel of truth. Like I said earlier, Andrew Tate. There's a small morsel of truth in there that they're holding on to, that nobody's speaking to. You know, and I'm be honest with you, it ain't like just, oh my God, become a Democrat, it's gonna fix it. Heck, I'm black. I voted Democrat, and they don't do jack that I asked them to do. Nothing, nothing. So anyway, y'all let me know uh where y'all fall on these issues in the comment section down below. I don't like either side for the most part, but y'all let me know. See ya.